Welcome back to Study Sprint. Today we're going to be looking at how to add and subtract fractions with different denominators. By the end of this video, you will be able to add fractions with different denominators and subtract fractions with different denominators. Let's recall. What are unlike fractions? Unlike fractions are fractions that have different denominators. So for example, 1 over 4 and 1 over 5 are unlike fractions because they have different denominators. Mixed number. A mixed number is a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction. For example, 2 whole 1 over 3. 2 is a whole number and 1 over 3 is a proper fraction. When adding fractions with common denominators, we add the numerators. For example, 2 over 8 plus 5 over 8 will equal 7 over 8 because 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. The denominator stays the same. When adding or subtracting unlike fractions, the first thing is that before adding or subtracting fractions, they must have the common denominator. So to do that, find the lowest common multiple LCM and rewrite each fraction as an equivalent fraction. If you're new to LCM or equivalent fraction, I would recommend you to first watch my video related to both the topics, and I'll provide the link in the description. The second thing is to add or subtract the numerators and keep the denominators the same. Now let's take a look at an example question for adding unlike fractions. Add the following fractions and give your answer as mixed numbers. The fractions are 3 over 7 and 3 over 4. So to add unlike fractions which have different denominators, we have to first find the LCM and rewrite each fraction as an equivalent fraction. So to find the LCM, we have to write the multiples of both the denominators. So the multiples of 7 are 7, 14, 21, 28, and so on. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28. So the LCM is the lowest common multiple. Now, which number is common up till now in both of the denominators? Up till now, only 28 is common in both 7 and 4. So our LCM is going to be 28. So after we have found our LCM, our next step is going to be multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by a certain number that will give us the fraction, the denominator of the fraction, as 28. So 7 times 4 is 28. So we're going to multiply the numerator 3 by 4, which will equal 12. So 3 over 7 is going to change into 12 over 28. Our next fraction was 3 over 4. 4 times 7 is 28, so we're going to multiply the numerator 3 by 7, which will equal 21. So now 3 over 4 has changed into 21 over 28. Now you can see that the changed fraction, so 3 over 7 is equivalent to 12 over 28, and 3 over 4 is equivalent to 21 over 28 because we multiplied both the numerator and the denominator by the same number to give us the denominator as 28. Step 2 is to add the fractions. So we are going to add 12 over 28 and 21 over 28, but we are only going to add the numerators. The denominator will be kept as the same. So 12 plus 21 is 33, and the denominator is the same as 28. Now 33 over 28 has an improper fraction because the denominator is smaller than the numerator. So we have to divide 33 over 28, and that will equal 1 whole 5 over 28. Now let's take a look at an example question for subtracting unlike fractions. Subtract the following fractions and give your answer as mixed numbers. 9 over 10 minus 5 over 6. Now, our first step was to make the denominators the same, and to make the denominators the same, we have to find the LCM of both the denominators. So let's start with listing down the multiples of 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and so on. The multiples of 6 now. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and now you can see that we have figured out our first common multiple, which is 30. And 30 is also going to be our least common multiple because this is our first number which was common in both 10 and 6. So our LCM for 10 and 6 is going to be 30. After we have figured that our LCM is 30, we have to see what numbers we can multiply to both the denominators to get 30. And what we will do to the denominator, we will do the same to the numerator. So let's take our first fraction, 9 over 10. If we multiply 10 by 3, we get 30. So we're going to multiply 9 by 3 to get 27. So 9 over 10 will change into 27 over 30. Our next fraction was 5 over 6. If we multiply 6 by 5, we get 30, so we're going to multiply 5 by 5 to get 25. So the fraction 5 over 6 will change into 25 over 30. So 9 over 10 is equivalent to 27 over 30, and 5 over 6 is equivalent to 25 over 30 because we have multiplied both the numerator and the denominator of the individual fractions by the same number to get the equivalent fractions. Next, we are going to subtract the numerators and keep the denominators the same. So 27 minus 25 is equal to 2, and 30 will stay the same. So our answer is 2 over 30. However, 2 over 30 can be divided by a common divisor, which is 2. So if we divide both of them by 2, we get the simplified form of 2 over 30, which is 1 over 15. 1 over 15 is a proper fraction, so we won't change this into a mixed number and we can't simplify it any further. So 1 over 15 is our final answer. Our third question is, in a school survey, 1 over 2 of the pupils said they walked to school. 1 over 5 said they catch the bus. The rest arrived by car. What fraction come to school by car? So from this question, we know that 1 over 2 of the pupils walk to school, 1 over 5 of the pupils catch the bus, and the rest arrive by car. And we have to find the fraction of what number of pupils come to school by car. So our first step is going to be making the denominator same of the fractions that we know. So 1 over 2 and 1 over 5. So to do that, we are going to list down the multiples of both the denominators. So the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. The multiples of 5 are 5, 10, and here we have a common number, which is 10. And this is also the lowest common multiple because there's no other multiple which is common in both the numbers before 10. So our LCM is equals to 10. Our next step is to rewrite the fractions with the denominator of 10. So 1 over 2, 2 times 5 gave us 10, so we're going to do the same to the numerator. That would be 5 over 10. Our next fraction was 1 over 5. So for 1 over 5, we multiply the denominator by 2 to get 10, and we're going to do the same to the numerator. That would give us 2 over 10. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add both of them together. So 5 over 10 plus 2 over 10. And that would give us 7 over 10. Now we know that from 10 parts, 7 of the parts are of the pupils who walk and the pupils who catch the bus. So how many parts are left out of 10? So for doing that, we're going to subtract 10 over 10, because 10 over 10 is going to be the total fraction of all the students together, minus 7 over 10, that would give us 3 over 10. So that means that the fraction of students who come to school by car is 3 over 10. Our next question is, in a math exam, 1 over 2 of the questions are on number topics, 1 over 3 of the questions are on algebra, and the rest are on geometry. What fraction of the questions are geometry questions? So our next step is going to be to make the denominator same of both the fractions. So to make the denominator same of 1 over 2, we're going to find the multiples of 2. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. Then for 1 over 3, we're going to find the multiples of 3. That would be 3, 6, and there we have a common multiple, 6. 6 is our least common multiple, so LCM, because before 6 we don't have any other common multiples in 2 and 3. Now we have to figure out what number we are going to multiply to 2 and 3 to get 6. So for our first fraction, we can multiply 2 by 3 to get 6, and we're going to do the same to the numerator. And for our second fraction, we are going to multiply 3 by 2 to get 6, and we're going to do the same to our numerator. So our new fractions would be 3 over 6 and 2 over 6. Now again, we're going to add both of the fractions together to figure out how many parts are left. So 3 plus 2 is 5. We leave the denominator as it is. So 5 parts out of 6 parts, meaning 5 questions out of 6 parts, are of number topics and of algebra. How many parts would be left? So we are going to subtract 6 over 6, which would be the total amount of questions, minus 5 over 6 to get 1 over 6. That means that 1 over 6 of the questions were geometry questions. So answer is 1 over 6. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with others. For more updates, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the notification bell.